that saved our soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind.
James, step up and tell us a Marjorie's story.
Oh, I'm hoping we all have a Marjorie story. Memories going back to, kind of my first memories of her. It's funny the things we hold on to, the images we do. I have this strong image of Mom at the sewing machine. It just is so emblazoned in my mind.
What was she making?
And she tells a story. I don't know. I see her there, and it somehow represents the work that she did for us. She tells a story that I came to her once and said, "Oh, Mom, you work so hard." I think we all probably felt that way about her. This woman who really did set herself aside and devoted what she had to give to us.
But she was a girl who
It's an
dreamed
amazing thing to really put your own needs aside for other people and to devote yourself to as she did. So somehow the sewing machine scene represents that devotion to her children.
Or every time I would run home from school to lunch, it was always ready and always smiling and cookie jars.
I forget the number. I forget the number. I forget the actual number, but I once told her, and I don't think she liked hearing this, but I figured out how many meals she made in her life. She didn't quite like hearing the number, but it was like many, many, many thousands.
Or thinking about the sewing machine, she used to let me, put the thread on the bobbin, which was a precursor to Bobbin World.
Little did he know he was in training at an early age.
Keep your head together. Call my name out loud. Oh, yeah.
That's a nice guy.
Then you came home.
I'm about to go to Oregon.
Well, actually Southern California, but that's where he was stationed. Sacramento Valley. Oh, yeah. Dustin vacuuming and all that stuff. I remember spending lots of time twirling around the clothesline pole. Ooh, I went round and round and round. My mom had one of those old baskets, she hung she never had a dryer in those days. She hung all of her clothes on the clothesline. She did a lot of laundry for all of us. Boy, she did a lot of laundry.
And thinking of your mom, she, not knowing her that well in regards to she only seemed like a very private person, a lot of ways, right? Reserved and private. And I was so surprised when she broke her hip and she needed care, and I took care of her. How we needed to change her clothes, and I was ready as a nurse to do the whole draping thing to keep her privacy intact and all that kind of thing, and all the different tricks. And she's like, "All right," just took off her. I'm like, "Who are you, Marjorie?" I mean, she just didn't fit with how she came.
Her modesty.
She was totally not modest.
Yeah.
She was not modest. I mean, it totally surprised me.
She filled some big shoes. She was always happy to see you with loving open arms and pat on the cheek and all like this. She would sit down and give you one-on-one conversation and actually be interested in your life.
Told my stories.
Told my stories.
Over and over. All I ask of you is forever to remember me as loving you.
And it goes both ways.
All I ask of you is forever to remember me as loving you.
And the Ishkala.
Ishkala mabulela, Ishkala mabulela. Ishkala mabulela, Ishkala
don't have a lot of vivid memories of my mother because my mother's life was with my children, and she was always there. I think we tend to remember things that are out of the ordinary, unusual. And for her being there for us was never unusual or out of the ordinary. She was always there. And that's probably the biggest thing I owe her is the parenting job she did. And she, even though we had physically two parents, in reality, I think we really loved my mom.
Emotional parent, we only had one.
Oh my gosh, you are so awfully keen. You are a great storyteller, reminiscing about days of yore. Illinois' deep river falls, and the shoemaker farm in Iowa. Marjorie and Marjorie, we celebrate Marjorie. Marjorie, Marjorie, we celebrate you today. Mac and cheese and roast, mashed potatoes and gravy too. Graham crackers and lots of cookies, and of course the green Joe at Christmas time. I love you. Here are some words that describe you. Reliable and stable too, and selfless devotion to your children. Marjorie, Marjorie, we celebrate Marjorie. Marjorie, Marjorie, we celebrate you today. One more time now. Marjorie, Marjorie, we celebrate Marjorie. Marjorie, Marjorie, we celebrate you today.
It was one of the ways that It was one of the ways we got contact from our mother. She would. It wasn't like she's digging in there, although she did do that with our dad, who had these impacted ears. But she would just like fiddle with your ears in this kind of loving, kind of sweet way.
She was aware of the fact you don't go.
Right. But I mean, that's another big moment in my, for me, and just a memory.
The three of us used to fight for who got to her lap first. Do you remember that? Right.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And she also really liked, from the writings of the author George Eliot, who, by the way, was a woman. This is the quote, so I'm just going to read it. Oh, may I join the choir invisible of those immortal dead who live again in minds made better by their presence.
That lavender. We have one no. What do you call it? One no from her.
Rhododendron.
But she likes flowers and she loves
That color.
flowers.
They call them the plane trees, which are like sycamore trees. All
Rockin'
those
a
trees
baker
that
and
are
a
planted in a
brownie.
row. You know that spot?
But
that
would
was
be-
her favorite place in the park, which is weird because it's not the best place.
No,
Chop our way into this thing.
This is gooey wax.
Gooey.
Oh, it's not wax. That's rubber.
Yeah, the last time I flew,
Kind of
I
clay.
had
Or maybe
Rubber.
seal this
it might be that
It's like clay.
museum.
There's what's
Yeah.
left. There's what's left of a
Tip it this way.
100-pound woman.
Tip it this way.
Yeah, and this is the cradle that we made for her.
James?
I'm sure they.
her and the
That fire was so hot.
Yeah, be careful.
That's enough for you.
Yeah.
you free, Mom, into that divine ocean of love, where you are much happier now.
Yeah, listen.
Oh, are we all doing a little thing? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, so far the bowl's going round.
Okay. Bye, Mama.
See you sometime soon.
Bless our lovely park with your beauty.
Let's see.
Here you go, Mom.
So you always said you didn't know if you believed or not, but I think you know now that you are living proof of life eternal. We are all this stardust. We are all rock and animal and human being. We're gonna put Mom's sphere of water to rest.
Careful! Woo!
That was pretty good.
Oh, he's stuck!
That surprised me.
There you go. Swimming at last.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a soul like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. You is forever to remember me as loving you.
Ishkala.
Ishkala mabud leila, Ishkala mabud leila.
It's a FC.
Ishkala mabud leila, Ishkala mabud leila. All I ask of you is forever to remember me as loving you.
And it goes both ways.
All I ask.
We're Stardust, baby.